Joining us now here in the Steve Klosterman State Farm Agency broadcast booth is modern day alumni, Hall of Famer, 4-year letterman, I think, varsity baseball, and soon to be retired baseball number, Josh Thole. Welcome, buddy.
Thanks, Marty. Thanks for having me on. This is what a cool day. I was telling my wife right before we came out here, I said I've been booed by 50,000 people, and this is the most nervous I've ever been. So, but I'm looking forward to it. It'll be fun.
Oh yeah, I bet. So it's quite an honor. I mean, I don't. Has Mater Dei ever retired a baseball number?
No, to what I'm privy to, I think this is the first one. So what a great honor.
And I mean, I'm not even sure if they retired any numbers in any sports, as far as I know. I'm not 100% positive on that, but that's.
Yeah, I don't believe so.
Yeah, I don't think. I know there's some numbers that haven't been given out over several years. You know,
and rightfully so. There's plenty of guys that deserve something like this
and stuff. So tell me, I mean, you know, what feeling came across you when they gave you the phone call and said, hey, we're wanting to retire your baseball number here at Mater Dei?
Well, I was a bit speechless at first, and it was I didn't know what to think, and I kind of felt maybe there's other people that deserve it as well, and I didn't know what to make of it, and it started becoming more surreal as we got closer to this date, and then yesterday getting on the plane to come out here got even a little more surreal, and here we are. We're a halftime away.
Halftime away, that is correct. So let's go back to that year, and that's June of 2005. I believe your watch party was in your garage at your mom and dad's house when you finally got the announcement that you were getting drafted by the New York Mets.
Yeah, that'll be a day I'll never forget. And there was a couple teams that were in on me early in the draft, and they kept passing on me, and I didn't know what to think. And all of a sudden, the Mets picked me in the 13th round. So that was a day that will always go down for me as one of the ultimate days of my life.
So what's it like to go from a high school kid in Clinton County to life in the big city of the Big Apple?
Well, it's a bit different, as you can imagine. I think the hardest transition for me was learning how to do my own laundry, cook my own food, and do all that once I got into minor league baseball. But navigating the Big Apple is quite. It took some getting used to and learning, and we lived in the city right when we got there. So driving in the city, getting on the subways, all those things that you don't think will ever happen to somebody that lives in a small town in southern Illinois.
Well, I've been to New York once, and we were out by the new Mets Stadium,
City Field.
Yep. And just getting on the subway from there down to the stadium, which was only like 3 stops, was like a nightmare for me.
Oh yeah, no, it's quite challenging. Believe me, it's still a challenge. Me and my wife just went down. We went into Brooklyn a few weekends ago, and it's like we still don't know what we're doing. But needless to say, getting a chance to live in New York City is something that I've always wanted to do, especially once I got into professional baseball. But I've been lucky enough to live in some cool cities.
So you had a little bit of you had a little stint there in the minor leagues, but then you finally got that call up, and 2012 you were the starting catcher for the New York Mets.
Yeah, that was. So 2011 I became the full-time catcher. 2012 I was starting to establish myself a little bit, and that's when I really took the load on, and I was catching. 4, 5, 6 days a week, which is right now unheard of. Everybody does the tandem kind of role type of deal, matchups and all of that. So
unless you're the Cardinals and Yadier Molina.
Yeah, what a job that would be to back that guy up, huh?
So how was day in the life when you were the full-time catcher, the starting catcher, and you were catching that many days of the week? I mean, what did your day consist of?
Yeah, get to the park quite early, around about 1 o'clock. 12:31, have a quick bite for lunch, and then it didn't matter. It didn't matter how many times you played. If you were playing in division, if you were not playing in division, you had to constantly be on it, and swings were changing, pitcher stuffs was changing, so you had all of these, all these kind of things that came into play as to how you call the game, and changing signs all the time. As we now know that's a big thing, but it was no secret. We knew the teams that would do it, and so those are things that you have to spend time and get creative, and how do you do it? And that's what you spend 2 hours of your day from 1:30 to 3:30 doing.
Watching a lot of video and stuff like that, learning different batters' tendencies and,
digging
and
out
different things like that.
Right. I mean, everybody talks about the analytics where we are in baseball, and we are. We're much deeper than we've ever been. But we were doing the same stuff back in 2011. I mean, not to the kind of where we're at right now, but very close to it.
Or basically, you were doing it back then. At that time, they just didn't know it was called analytics, and they didn't talk about it.
Yeah, we called it something different. We called it stats, I think, is what we called it.
But obviously, a lot of different highlights here throughout your career. But the one that really sticks out is probably June 1st, 2012, against the St. Louis Cardinals.
Yeah, that was the first no-hitter in Mets history, and no matter what these Cardinals fans say, that ball was still foul. That Beltran hit down the line, so I don't want to hear it from anybody.
So when you say that, the first no-hitter in Mets history, so how does that make you feel to be part of that with Johan Santana?
Yeah.
And then also, if I know right, didn't your gear and all that go straight to the Hall of Fame?
Yeah. So I was lucky enough to keep my mask, my glove, and then the glove that I wear under my catcher's glove. That's all I kept. Everything else went to the Hall of Fame. And it's probably sitting in their storage unit collecting dust because there's a lot of other stuff that deserved to be displayed. But it was quite an honor. I mean, you think of the guys that have come through there, Seaver, Doc Gooden. I mean, the list goes on. Nolan Ryan pitched there, Pedro Martinez, Tom Glavine. I mean, this is a laundry list of Hall of Famers. And here we are, Johan and myself, doing the first no-hitter, which was, again, I mean, there's some things that really stand out that you just will never, ever let go.
So after he threw that last pitch and the final out was made, did you rush to the mound and charge him, or did you let him charge to you?
No, I rushed to the mound to charge him, but the worst thing that I completely regret is I never took my mask off so nobody could see my face.
Isn't that the first thing they tell you when you get up and start running to throw your mask? I mean, they taught me that in Little League ball here in Breeze.
That's the first thing that you do until it happens.
So then after that, I mean, you go on and you start, you become the personal catcher with R.A. Dickey while he was with the Mets, and then get traded to Toronto and stuff. So what's it like catching the knuckleball?
Yeah, well, that's why I have all these gray hair, Marty. It has nothing to do with my wife or kids. It's all catching the knuckle puck. It was something that was the whole idea in 2010 when the Mets signed R.A., was we were going to both start in the minor leagues, and it was a day that I didn't want to have a day off because I couldn't catch this guy. So I just took it upon myself to follow him around and play catch with him and learn how to catch it. And at the end of the day, it paid off. I mean, I was able to get traded. You look back, you say 2012, you're catching every day for the New York Mets, and then you got traded, and then you became a specialty catcher. Well, you know what? At the end of the day, I spent 4 years in Toronto, went to the playoffs twice. It was an awesome piece of my career that I'll never forget.
That's awesome. So, well, we want to congratulate you on the big honor here tonight, getting your jersey retired. First one in modern day history. Quite an accomplishment and very well deserved. I mean, you had a great career here at Modern Day, and I remember watching a lot of those games where you were hitting them bombs over the right field fence out of Breeze Park.
Well, thank you, Marty. Some of those were wind dated, but we won't tell anybody. I appreciate it. Thank you.
How many more years you got? I know you're still playing minor league ball.
Yeah, I'm still playing. Yeah, I'm a free agent now, so just waiting. I've had a couple teams reach out, but we'll, you got to be patient. Where I am, I'm in no hurry, so we'll just kind of see where it plays out and see what's next, and just keep going as long as I can.
All right, buddy. Well, congratulations on the honor, and best of luck to you in the future, and we'll see you at your appreciation party up at Turf.
Sounds great, Marty. Thanks.
All righty. Let's take care.
Bye-bye.